Hello, hi everybody, how you all doing? I just decided to quickly pop on to the old YouTube and say a quick little goodbye to India and just let you know where I'm at with all of that. I'm filming this at night, so there's a terrible shadow behind me that I can see. But I think the light is quite good. It's very bright, actually. I don't think it's too bad in my glasses. So let me just sit up a little bit straighter so that I can participate better. Yeah. So I'm quite bundled up because, in fact, it's not really that cold, but it's just chilly inside, you know. It is the 26th of February and our daytime temperatures, I'm in Rishikesh, which is in the north of India, are around about 23 degrees, kind of by lunchtime. But it does come down to about 12 degrees at night. And especially now it's full moon, the sky is very, very clear. It could be a little bit cooler. It's absolutely beautiful. The sky is totally gorgeous. But it's also like a very quiet time. It's a time where I can record a bit of a video and be sure that I won't be too disturbed by all sorts of weird noises that I would during the day. Okay, so I just changed the angle of the camera and I think that's better. Just hope it doesn't fall off. It's actually dangling on the top of my laptop, which is quite a weird position. But I think it's better. Just, it shows a bit more and the actual angle of the camera is better. So yes, it's Sitagiri. I'm here in India. I'm a nomadic knitter and I have a nomadic lifestyle and I'm about to move on to the next place pretty soon, actually in about 48 hours. On Wednesday night I will be taking a taxi to Delhi, which is where I fly from. So it's quite a long journey. The taxi ride is about 4 to 5 hours. And then I probably will be in Delhi airport at about 1 a.m. and I fly out of there at 4 a.m. on the morning of the 29th. And I arrive in South Africa at 5 o'clock in the evening. So I fly via Dubai. And I have a total of about 14 hours in the air, which is fine. I can settle in at least once we have passed Dubai or arrived at Dubai. Then it's a lovely long flight and I will be able to knit and watch a movie, maybe have a nap, who knows. But I've already started packing and I have quite a lot of things. I've been away for 5 months. So as you can imagine, my life is with me. And I'm also bringing back to South Africa quite a lot of silk yarn that I have hunted out in India. I also arrived with quite a lot of wool because, of course, I knit all the time, so I have been knitting. I've made quite a few garments, probably about 3 sweaters that I've completed and 2 shawls in 5 months. And I've also made a couple of cowls, quite a lot. I'm a constant knitter. I work on quite a few pieces at once. And I like not only to make my knitwear, but I like to wear my knitwear. So tonight I am, as you can see, wearing one of my favorite shawls. This is the Slip Stravaganza from Stephen West. I've recently given it a wash because I've been wearing it all the time. It's my favorite color. It goes beautifully with my t-shirt. And underneath here, I'm wearing this short-sleeved kind of kimono top, which I've shown you before from Romy Designs. What is it called? It's got a very, very hard to remember name. I'll have to put it in the notes, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really beautiful. And as you can probably see, this is my whole color palette, sort of gold, brown, orange, reds, and more orange, and so on. So I'm all wrapped up, sitting here on my bed, and sort of a little bit in a state of limbo, you know, when you're about to leave. I've sort of half packed. I can't really pack any more than I have packed. And the things that I have packed are nicely tucked away, but I keep on thinking, oh, where did I put that? And where did I put this? Anyway, it's pointless thinking about it because wherever it is where it is, and I'm not going to need it now, and I'm not going to use it. So I've kept out some clothing for the next couple of days. And actually, there's a whole lot of stuff right here next to me that I can show you because most of my clothing consists of knitwear that I've made. So, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about what I'm doing right now. I'll show you this absolutely gorgeous mohair. These are two slightly different shades, which I think you can see. This is a very, very pale sagey green. And this is an absolutely gorgeous light grey. And this is tin silk mohair from Sadness Gone. And I was very, very lucky to be sent 6 skeins. There's another darker green that goes with this by who sent it to me? Gosh. Now I've completely forgotten. I'll have to check. Okay, I got it. It was sent to me by Melanie Berg. And I am knitting one of her shawls, which is called the Wayward. And it's knitted out of single strand of mohair, 3 colors, very, very simple stocking knit stitch, really wonderful and relaxing, and it is probably going to be my main item of knitting while I'm flying. I've got it already on my wooden Knit Pro needles, and let me finish this row, then I can show you. It's a very faint stripe. It's a 2-row stripe in stockinette stitch. So there's a very light sage, and there's this mid to light grey. The wonderful thing about the Sadness Gone tin silk mohair is that it also has a percentage of merino wool in it. So it's not just mohair and silk. I think it's 20% merino wool in the mix. And that somehow gives it quite a different feel. It makes it a bit more substantial and not so sort of fluffy, you know. It's woolly. It's really beautiful. I really like it. So when I received these colors, I posted it on my Instagram, and my daughter immediately said, oh, those are my colors. So I thought, well, let's see. They're not really my colors. They're quite light, but I could imagine marling them in with some kind of sock yarn, something to that effect. But because it's such a beautiful yarn, I'd love it just to be shown off on its own. So I decided immediately to actually use it for the purpose it was meant for, the Melanie Berg Wayward shawl, which is very beautiful. It's a modular stockinette stitch, single strand of mohair, knitted in 3 sections. This is the first section, and you can actually see the stripe. It's quite incredible in this lighting. You can see the stripe. It's very, very faint. So this is the first piece, and it's very soft. Yes, it is fluffy, but it's not so floofy. I think that's what they say. This is a mohair, regular mohair, held with fingering weight. And I don't think you can see the difference. It's difficult for me to show you. But it is different to actual, the usual silk mohair. So I've started that on the wooden needles. It's on a 3mm needle. And I'm going to knit that when I'm on the plane. So I've just got it going. There's no chance that I'll finish it. This often happens. I decide I'll knit this when I fly, and I started. Sorry, I'm full of mohair. And then by the time I fly, I'm almost finished, but that won't happen with this. So that is that. Then I wanted to show you something very, very lovely that I received today from my friend Manasa of Sunray Creations in India. She is an official stockist, I guess, or retailer of Knit Pro knitting accessories, products, stitch markers, needles, all the Knit Pros, you know, the fixed needles, the wooden needles. I've got a beautiful pair of wooden needles from her, circulars, fixed. They're called Ginger, the make. I don't have them close enough to me right now. But what I saw and what I really loved was this. Can you see what this is? There it says Knit Pro on it. It's a beautiful little wooden cylinder. And the top has this lovely little flower mandala engraved into it. And this container contains 4 absolutely exquisite handmade wooden darning needles in this lovely teal green. 4 needles come in that container. Some are larger than the others. They are absolutely beautiful. I really love them, and I'm so happy to have them, and I can't wait to use them because I am quite a fan of plastic needles, but they break very easily. And all my darning needles of the moment are broken, but I still managed to use them. So I saw these, and she sent them to me. I'm very excited about that. And I'll mention it down the bottom so that if you want to get some from her, or if you want to get them from Knit Pro, I've never seen them advertised anywhere before. This is what they look like. That's the Mindful Collection Teal Wooden Darning Needles. So not only does it come in this beautiful little wooden box, but the box comes in a beautiful little bag, also with this lovely little mandala on. So I am really loving that. The other things that I wanted to show you, simply because they're nearby and I'll be carrying them along with me in case I get cold when I travel. One is a rather wild and funky pair of painting brick socks from Stephen West. These were his first socks that a design that he ever put out. Aren't they gorgeous? I love this this design. I've made quite a few pairs of the painting bricks. I love the garter heel. This is one of the highlights. And because of the stitch pattern with the slip stitches of the painting bricks, it makes a very snug fitting sock. And that is something that I love. Look, we're all wearing slip extravaganzas and painting brickses, and this is all Stephen West. All bright and colourful. So I've got a pair of these socks. These will be going with me on the plane. And then I've got one of my curious handmade-esque cowls, which I call my hoodie cowl. This is mine, my scrappy one, made out of all my lovely scrappy colors. So when I want to have a nap and cover my head up in the plane, I will slip it on and pull it over. It's also nice and soft and bright. I've also washed it because I've worn it non-stop. And I do find that I get quite cold in the plane. Of course, there's air conditioning. And one does get these blankets that they give you, but they are so terribly synthetic that I hate to use them. I might wrap them around my legs, but that's about it. So I will also have my shawl, most definitely, and I'll have a long sleeve t-shirt. And then the other thing that I do have here is my pair of hand-knitted, hand-spun fingerless mitts, which I'm very excited about. These I also made in the past few months that I've been here. I've shown them before. They're both slightly different colors, so one's a left and one's a right. I think the right one is the lighter color. And these are a mix of merino and silk that I've hand spun, and they're also lovely and snug. They were a basic stockinette mitt pattern, which I then extended because it was too short on the wrist. So there's some rows of garter, and then I put some rib. It was an afterthought, but definitely a good idea. And they do come, you know, quite low over my my fingers, but I can fold them back if I want to. Although I never do. I mean, I can actually knit with them on. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4th piece of knitwear that I will have with me on the plane. And then the 5th piece is this incredible cardigan, which is by Knit Toronto. And I can't think of the name right now. It was a free pattern. Somebody alerted me to this lovely free pattern, and I just jumped in and made it with some mohair and fingering that I had left over from my glittering snowscape Knit shawl of Stephen West, which is absolutely gorgeous. Everything is packed, so I can't show you any of these things I'm mentioning. This is what I've got around me, is what I'm taking with me on the plane. So this is the cardigan. Absolutely lovely. It's slightly cropped. It's made out of a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair. The pattern is not made for, it's made for a DK weight, or maybe even a worsted. But I just went up a couple of sizes in the pattern. And I'm not really, I've never knitted, this is a bottom-up cardigan with a circular yoke, and I'm absolutely in love with this. It is so beautiful. It fits like a dream. What I loved most about the knitting process is the fact that I could start knitting the sleeves whenever I felt like it. It wasn't like, now I have to pick up the sleeves, pick up the stitches and knit the sleeves. When I got tired of knitting the body, you know, it was quite a lot of stitches because it's knitted flat right around, and the button bands are knitted separately. I could just cast on a sleeve whenever I felt like it and start knitting it. So that's what I did, you know, cast on the sleeve. It's got this lovely little band of a double row of garter, and I used all these greens, and then I had a tiny little bit of this sort of custard yellow, so I added that in. And then, yes, then you join on your sleeves, and there's a small amount of raglan rows here under the arms, and then off you go. You knit the yoke flat, of course, and there are decrease rows where you decrease quite heavily, you know, like every 20 rows you do like knit two together, knit two all the way around. You decrease. And I've changed the design. I've added some yarn over holes to make a bit of lace just at the bottom of the rib as well. And then I put in some short rows in the back of the neck between the rib and the first row of eyelets. As you can see in the front, the eyelets are right against the rib, and it's worked like a dream, absolutely like a dream. The garter bands were so easy to make, the buttonhole bands, and then I found these lovely, they're actually plastic, but they look like glass, these lovely sweetie bright yellow orange buttons, and I put those on. So this is going to go on the plane with me, and I'm sure I'll be wearing it most of the time. And then when I want to snuggle up and nap, I'll put on my cowl, and then I'll put on my shawl, and then I'll be ready to have a nap and take a rest, because it's a very, very, very long flight. So I think that's quite exciting. I love it. I have this, what I normally call a rule of 3, which means that usually every day when I step out, I kind of look at what I'm wearing when I've left my room already, and I'd see what 3 things have I got on that I've hand knitted. And I have to have 3. I mean, I like to have 3. So there's usually always a pair of socks, and then there could be most definitely a shawl. This is a wonderful garment, this Romy Hill. I will put this all down in the notes. It's sort of a shortish sleeve kimono. It's also cropped. I'm a bit stuck here, I can't really move, but it's a lovely garment. It's a lovely layering garment, and it's made out of Rama fennel. First time I've ever used it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so warm. And my next project, when I get back to South Africa, I will be receiving more Rama fennel, lucky me, and I'm going to be making the Paulina pullover or sweater from Tetty's Knit Garden, Tetty's Knits. Lovely designer, makes beautiful sweaters, beautiful knitwear. It's the one that's got these big, bold, naive flowers. And I'm using a yellow for the actual sweater, a sort of heathered yellow, but nevertheless it's yellow. And I've chosen 2 different types of green. One's quite a bright green, and the other one's quite a sagey green, and I might use them both in the flowers, or I might just use one or the other. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've got some plans and I'm very excited about them. And then at the end of March, we have a wonderful yarn festival, the Cape Town Fibre Festival. Will be held over 2 days in Cape Town, and I'll be back, and I'll definitely be attending and looking forward to seeing what everybody has to offer. It's not often that we have fibre festivals, and we don't have such a huge variety of fibres as one would normally have in Europe or in the States, for example. You know, we have merino, we have mohair, there may be some silk involved or merino linen, but we don't have these specific breed types of yarn, like Corriedale or Blueface Leicester, none of that, we don't have it. If we get it, it's all imported. We don't have Zauber balls, we don't have Dream State, any of that. But we have great dyers, and I think a lot of people are getting into hand spinning as well. So we are getting that fractal spun yarn, which we all long for and we love, especially in color work. So let's see. I'm looking forward to that. I'll try and make a bit of a video at the festival. And then pretty soon after that, in April, I am launching into something new in fibre. It feels like this year is a year of change and a year of kind of expanding my toolbox in the fibre world. I've done many different fibre crafts, but I have never really put my hand to weaving. I've done very simple weaving, but I am going to do a weaving workshop with Rita Trafford. I'm very excited about that, and my aim is ultimately, if it grabs me, and I have no doubt that it will grab me, that I would like to spin yarn to weave. I've already started spinning the yarns, and they are also packed away. But I also want to use some silk, but I want to get into the textile of fiber. I'm a textile designer, and that is really exciting me, the textures and the weaves, and yeah, this to create a textile. So I think you might be seeing some woven shawls from me in the future. I sincerely hope so, because I'm looking forward to that. You will always still see knitted shawls and knitwear. That will not stop. But yes, those are my immediate plans. I will be back in India in October. I take small groups around, specialized, made to fit tours, and I have a lovely tour coming up in October into November, and then there will be another one in February next year, which is also going to be rather exciting. I won't talk about those right now because there's a lot of details that go into that, and all I really wanted to do this evening was to say hello and goodbye to India, and thank you for being on the journey with me in India. And I haven't really showed you very much of India this time, and but if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen a lot. I have an Instagram account for my knitwear, which is called Tribal Bling, and then I also have an Instagram account called Mystic India Tours, and that is all about my India journey. So I'll put that all down below, and you can go and take a look, and you can see what it looks like from my point of view when I'm in India, and maybe you'll become interested in coming to India one day. I am also being very busy for a couple of years now in planning a craft tour or retreat, not so much where we'll be running around from one craft to the other, but probably something along the lines of a workshop over 10 days, including natural dyeing, using silk, knitting, spinning, hand spinning, and weaving. That's my dream, and I'm working on it in collaboration with a very good friend, and that will be happening maybe in 2025, who knows. Let's see how it goes. Things take time here in India, and when you find what you're looking for, you are never ever sorry. It's always absolutely amazing. Traditional crafts done in the simplest way with basic tools. It feels like you're living in the 1800s and learning these things for the first time, but with the tools and the technology of the days that we're in right now. So that's quite a cross section of ideas to mull over. So I will leave you with that. And I just wanted to show you this book. I'm sure you probably know this book. If you do not know this book, The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese, this is a stunning book. You can see how thick it is. It's about India. It takes place in India, and I often love to read books set in India whilst I'm in India. It just brings me right into the story. This is set in South India. I have been there. It is a stunning story of generations of a family and a couple of families, and some very strong matriarchal characters, beautiful settings. It's wonderful. It's so full of life. So if you don't know it, I suggest you take a look at it. It's called The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. And I just noticed now, it's on Oprah's book club, whatever that means. She read it too. So my friends, I'm running out of steam. I need to drink something, and it's quite late in the evening now. So I'm going to say goodbye and leave you, and I will be seeing you next when I am back in South Africa. And hopefully, I wonder what I'll have to show you. Some of those things that are already packed away that you can't see. All right, take care. Thank you very much for watching. Excuse me. And you know, we did reach the 1,000 subscribers mark, so that was very exciting. So don't let that stop you. If you haven't subscribed, please do that, like right now, and press the like button. I'll be very happy and grateful. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.